Hey, this is Dr. Brian Kinsel from Evolve Flagstaff. I'm going to show a tempo split squat, and then I'm going to tell you about some uses for it. So we're going to get the feet here. In comparison to the reverse lunge, I want about 50-50. So 50% of my weight here, 50% here. I'm going to get my feet straight, so I don't want to be turned out, but feet straight and hips square. So I don't want to be flared out in the hip there, but hips square. So from the front view, I'm squared up to you. Then I'm going to come here. Before I drop down, I'm going to get organized, meaning I want to get some engagement of my glute in the back. I'm going to squeeze hard here by my back pocket. I'm going to keep that throughout. And then I'm going to brace my core so that way my ribs and my belt lines stay parallel. So I don't want to be here because my ribs are flaring, and I don't want to be crunched down because then I'm leaning forward. So I want to be just as vertical as possible. And then I want my shin to be vertical as well. So I'm thinking straight lines as much as I can on my front leg and my torso. My back knee is going to bend as I drop down. So from here, I'm going to stay organized, engaged, and then I'm going to drop down nice and slow, 3 to 5 seconds. The further I drop down, the more I feel a stretch here, the harder it is to stay engaged. And then 50-50, I'm working on the front leg too. Once I get to about the limits of my strength or mobility, I'm going to pause. I'm going to try to take 2 full breaths. So breath in and out, breath in and out. That helps me own this position, and then I'm going to come up a little faster than I go down. So again, we're going to come down about 3 to 5 seconds. Engaged, engaged, 50% of the weight here. My shin's vertical, 2 breaths. Rise. If I want to load this more, I could grab some dumbbells in each hand. But as it is, I'll show from the front, even with no weight, if I go nice and slow and I mentally focus on this engagement, glute in the back, bracing the core like somebody's going to poke me or tickle me, vertical, down slow, inhale, and then you might even find, can I challenge myself more? After those 2 breaths, I might find, hey, I can actually drop a little bit lower without losing my position. And I'm going to breathe and pause. So anytime you feel like you're losing position, so let's say you're coming down and you feel like your knee is wobbling, you're going to pause and stabilize and breathe. And maybe you come up, but if you feel like once you get stability, you can drop lower, then we're going to do that. And then breathe. Right there you can see I'm shaking a little bit, but then I get control, and then I can drop a little bit lower. Okay, so that's what this is all about. This is where we use this in the gym or with some of my physical therapy patients, is we're rebuilding motor control, mobility at end range. So as I'm dropping down, I'm getting to the end range of my hip extension down there. That's where I might lose control of my core, might lose control of my glutes, which are creating some hip extension. And so I want to be able to control that and have really good awareness and proprioception and motor control in these positions. And the breath is important, because what do you do when you feel unsteady or unsafe? You go like this and hold your breath. And so as I get into a position that's challenging, I want to be able to maintain my position, but then still be able to breathe. Because if I don't breathe in the position, I don't own the position. That's something that Kelly Starrett from the Ready State, he harps on, is that you got to breathe in the positions, otherwise they're not truly yours. So that's the tempo split squat. We got a couple other videos showing some other tempo variations, but this one is great for restoring single leg mobility and motor control.